What is going on, everybody? It's the France, and I am sorry about this. I missed yesterday. I woke up in the morning, and I'm like, I went on YouTube, and I'm like, oh shoot, I totally thought about the Hephaestus versus Ares versus Pax. Let's see what's going on here, as this is going to be the next to last reveal of Elestrals for Sunstrike. As we still have some cards still to but obviously everything's been starter decks, which is starter decks, so they're going to be able to put the starter decks together. So let's get into this with a 12-minute video. Let's go. Oh shoot. Oh shoot. Whoopsies, forgot that I had my volume on that pause.
What's better than getting an epic starter deck out of the box with an amazing strategy? Getting 2 epic starter decks out of the box with 2 amazing strategies and 4 booster packs. We're breaking down the Ares versus Hephaestus double starter deck bundle right now.
Dan still loves these double starter decks, but I think it does more harm because you're sitting there trying to build counter. The best things about like doing the starter decks, they did 4 starter decks for live stream as well, but they weren't 2 versus 1 versus like 2 champions versus each other. They were all individual decks, and they were built differently. Like they were just like they could go up against anything. But building these double starter decks so they go against each other, and it does more than good. Like the Firestorm starter decks sucked. Firestorm starter decks sucked, and the first set of live stream starter decks were not impressive at all.
We already uploaded our Aeolus versus Hera double starter deck bundle, and we're going to be breaking down Ares versus Hephaestus. And let me tell you, these two have some serious beef, so this is going to be an epic starter deck for you guys to check out. You can pre-order these double starter decks at shopelestrals.com, and don't forget, orders over 50 USD secure themselves a stellar Armadon promo, which is perfect for this Ares deck, so don't you miss out. Speaking of Ares, let's dive into Ares first, as he is going to be one of our brand new divines, repping the solar element. Seize the battlefield with Ares and Celestio in a powerful aggro nexus strategy built to overwhelm opponents through Solar's explosive speed. Ares comes to Sunstrike with a brand new effect that allows you to disenchant a spirit to search your deck for a Colosseum of Ares or an armament of Ares. Let's talk about the Elestral lineup, and then we'll go into the runes. Nebuleo provides powerful nexus capabilities, allowing you to find any champion of Ares from your deck. Leobright is one of the bright spots of this deck, allowing you to nexus a spirit onto a stadium rune or an artifact rune, and then you can destroy a face-down rune. We've seen that rune destruction is one of the most powerful pieces of Elestrals, and being able to do that reliably with Leobright is very key. It's also
we need rune destruction. You never want to have your opponent have an entire back row just ready to do whatever they want to you. So having the ability, another way to destroy rune, is never a bad thing. Because I remember from from the first 4 sets, there was barely any rune destruction. You had a couple cards here and there, but like you didn't have much. And if you want one of those decks that had any of the few cards that were in the few cards that were available for rune destruction, your deck was not going to win, like probably at all, unless you were going up against somebody who knew the game, didn't know the game very well, and didn't understand that back row was key. And back row is still key. They gave us Hurricane for a bit, then took it away because it was way too powerful, and people like decided let's just splash Hurricane and everything. So yeah, more rune destruction options, the better.
Also worth noting that the deck features 2 regular Nebuleo. Even though you're not doing Apollo, you got Ares Fortel with Nebuleo, and you're going to have a lot of reliability, especially going into Celestio, champion of Ares. With 14 attack and 8 defense, it cannot be returned to the hand when you're able to provide backup pressure with your Stadium runes or your Artifact runes. That if Colosseum is up, Celestio can attack each opponent's Elestral once. One of the unsung heroes of this strategy is Kokore. This is going to come up because certain artifacts receive spirits and are able to trigger and provide additional benefits, while different stadiums like the Battlegrounds allow you to give yourself additional buffs every time you get spirits on your Colosseum. Draco Ray hits the field with 6 attack and 3 defense, allowing you to protect your Ares runes from your opponent, and every time this Draco Ray deals damage to an opponent, you can enchant more spirits from your underworld to your field based on how much spirits they expended. Alongside Kokore, Lumaru is going to be one of the key Elestrals you'll be utilizing. utilizing. Lumaru can also Nexus a Solar Spirit, and you can disenchant a Solar Spirit from your stadium or your artifact in order to special ascend Lumaru to Ruminous from your hand or deck. Ruminous provides you with 7 attack pressure, and you can disenchant a Solar Spirit from Ruminous to search your deck for a Solar Rune and add it to your hand. Further, you can disenchant a Spirit from one of your stadiums or artifacts to change the position of an Elestral, giving you some opportunity to remove some of the more defensive threats in the game. Armadon, which comes as a stellar promo at shopelestrals.com, will come at 2 copies in this deck and provides you the most essential piece to find your Ares. Dratora comes back from Daybreak, allowing you to provide some healing pressure, and I mentioned the Nebuleos earlier for their...
Oh god, man, just heal stall sucks to go up against. They are so frustrating. Just, you know, having another way to heal is fine. Obviously, Dan definitely wants to try and wean off of using Ambrosia, because Ambrosia is down to 2 instead of 3. When we eventually go down to 1, and just gotta work on getting yourselves another way to heal.
Portal. OG Heliolith comes back, allowing you to bounce and remove your opponent's threats if you have artifacts in the field, and Calf-Mount provides even more.
Y'all remember that one time Heliolith had had its 15 minutes of fame because it won what was it, Dallas, the Dallas Open last year. Remember that? Remember how Heliolith became the talk of the entire Elestrals world for like 5 minutes and then disappeared?
More healing alongside Dratora. Let's not forget about Exaltus as well, which can search out those ethereal cards when you're Nexusing, providing an additional support base to your Nebuleo Champion of Ares. Now, as we explore the Rune Row, there's a handful of cards here that are really powerful. Reforge allows you to grab those artifacts from your underworld and add them back into your hand, and heal as well, so this works really well alongside your Sword of Vitality. Breeze of Zephyros is going to be able to Nexus spirits in the field and provide yourself with a little bit of a buff, especially if your opponent goes in the offensive. You've got 2 Spear of Piercings, allowing you to deal extra damage to your opponent based on how many spirits are on the armament, which pairs again very well with Kakure, and you're getting piercing on just a 1-cost artifact. Sword of Vitality allows you to get even more buffs onto your Elestral and heal spirits from your underworld to your spirit deck. These cards are both incredibly strong. The Battlegrounds is key, and that's going to be your main stadium in this deck. The Battlegrounds allows you to get a buff on each of your Elestrals if they're Champion of Ares, and you're going to get that buff to expand based on how many spirits are enchanting this Coliseum of Ares. First Light is a powerful invoke rune that allows you to manipulate the top of your deck to find the cards you need, while Solar Charge is going to be able to activate additional spirits onto your field, which is just really handy for Nexus effects, especially in an early game scenario.
With how much people were using the Celestleo, with like how much Celestleo seemed to be getting a lot of love from what was it, Kissimmee. I'm surprised First Light didn't see a not a ban, but like a limit.
Guardian of Light is one of the more powerful counter runes, stopping your opponent's attacks in their tracks and allowing you to heal, and the signature rune of the deck is none other than Reinforcements of Ares. You can special cast a Champion of Ares from your hand using only spirits enchanting your Coliseum of Ares and or your Armament of Ares, meaning that loading up your stadium becomes super worth it when you can special cast out a Celestleo from your hand. Ambrosia allows you to heal, while Altar of Stars allows you even more Nexus potential and position changing to stop your opponent's attacks. Pandora's Box is going to give you the flexibility to stop your opponent's search, and lastly, Shield of Achilles will provide you additional defensive support, bouncing your opponent back to their hand. The Ares deck plays in a few lanes, but all of it is started off by getting your Ares to the field and finding your stadium or beginning your artifact onslaught. Kakure and Lumaru provide additional pressure at the early stages of the game, as Ruminous can hit the field incredibly easily and give you great advantage by searching out those runes. Otherwise, you're going to use your Nebuleo to find the key search targets, get your Reinforcements of Ares, and drop your Celestleo at the right time, throwing your opponent's strategy completely off. As always, these double starter deck bundles are loaded with amazing cards, but let's not forget about the Stellar Rares. Both decks inside the double starter deck have a chance to pull a serialized Stellar Rare where only 99 copies will ever exist. And they have a chance to get a reverse Stellar Rare as well, so you really have 4 chances to pull a Stellar in these starters. The X of 99 Stellar Nebuleo is a can't-miss card, especially if you're an Ares fan. I absolutely love...
Is that a new, did they change the Stellar for Nebuleo? Because, my goodness, he looks a lot different. Okay, then.
The coloration, and I love the design as this Nebuleo traverses the Coliseum in a super cool way. Let's not forget about the reverse Stellar Reinforcements of Ares as well.
I mean, look at those 3 Stellars up there. So basically you get to see 3 Stellar Elestrals in one card with Heliolith, Celestleo, and Dracoray, I think it is? Or Dragalius. All 3 of them right there, just Stellar completely. Which, oh boy, looks like they did the Celestleo differently too when it comes to Stellar. His Stellar looks different in this.
As
Maybe the Champions versions have different, like, just slightly different tinge to the Stellar.
this card is beautiful and features some incredibly powerful Champions of Ares that you simply do not want to miss out on. If this Ares starter deck brightened your day, let me know in the comment section down below. And now we can shift gears to my main man, Hephaestus, the god of the Forge. Let's turn up the heat because from the heart of the Forge comes Hephaestus and his Vesuvatuga in this aggressive mid-range burn playstyle fueled by fire's relentless precision. Harness potential artifacts and volcanic eruptions to wear down opponents and finish battles in a blazing fashion. Hephaestus, of course, is one of our original divines, and his effect is simple. He can search any artifact out of your deck for just disenchanting one spirit. Voltuga comes at 3 copies as an Earth Elestral, which might be a bit of a surprise, but this allows you to find counter runes with your Hephaestus effect. You can also turbo in.
I'm really surprised that the fire deck is mostly going, like, main thing is a Earth Elestral. Like, all the, like, this is, I think, the only one that the main, so far, the only one that the main Elestral to the main champion is not in their normal element. I mean, yeah, obviously, Vesuvatuga has fire, but it starts up as an Earth Elestral, not a fire.
Into Vesuvatuga, which provides you incredible amounts of pressure.
And the fact that his is only a 2 cost Elestral and not a 3 cost. I mean, what are we doing here?
The 6 attacker and 8 defense. You can disenchant a fire from your field, whether it's your Hephaestus or otherwise, to search your deck for an eruption.
I swear he doesn't like Hephaestus as much as the other guys.
Or a champion of Hephaestus and add it to your hand. Eruption, we know, is incredibly powerful, and there's a new titled eruption, Hephaestus' Jealousy, which acts as a powerful removal tool. So you have the ability to search that out at any point alongside your champions of Hephaestus. This Vesuvatuga really does it all. When you cast an artifact rune utilizing your Hephaestus or otherwise, you can enchant up to 2 fire from your underworld to anywhere on the field. This synergizes perfectly with Eruption, Hephaestus' Jealousy, but it also just acts as a healing agent to get additional spirits onto your field, and let's not sleep on that 6 attack stat. You can definitely knock some things out with that. The deck also features 2 Voltugas, which allow you to find your eruptions a little faster, a Rumacole, which allows you to find artifacts in your underworld, return them to your hand, and get additional buffs for having artifacts on the field. You've got your Lavalith, Champion of Hephaestus, which is an incredibly powerful 5 attacker that every time it gets empowered by an artifact can target and destroy a face down rune. Not to mention, it can be normal cast out if Hephaestus is on the field, so getting your Hephaestus live is really key. Bellaby is amazing at being able to search out your Reforge, being able to grab your artifacts again, and continue to put pressure on. But the key to this deck, and one of the most important pieces, is of course Volcaries. With 2 copies of your Champion of Hephaestus Volcaries, you can search out your Hephaestus in a big way, and be able to utilize spirits from the underworld in order to chant your artifacts. This means that your artifact casts are essentially free, and having 4 attack and the ability to search this out is super clutch for Volcaries. You want to find Volcaries as soon as you can because it turns the whole strategy on. Kinleo provides incredibly powerful Nexus ability, allowing you to destroy opponents' Elestrals. Ramacole allows you to find your stadium and receives additional buffs as a result. And of course, Lavalith, the now banned card, is coming here in a big way.
Oh boy, what a way to make people upset is, like, you start seeing people come up with the Hephaestus deck because they got OG Lavalith, they got OG Eruption.
Drop down and destroy your opponent's runes. It's worth noting that cards like Lavalith, when they're included in a starter deck, if the starter deck remains unchanged, the deck can be played still legally. So even though the Hephaestus starter deck does contain Lavalith and it contains 2 copies of Eruption, you're able to utilize these cards exactly as the deck is made in a competitive setting. Smoltuga comes to the scene as a powerful champion, allowing you to find your invoke runes, but also turbo into your Krakatuga. And Krakatuga is massive because it can swap stats and it can deal massive amounts of damage. But let's not forget about base set Voltuga, which rounds out the Elestral lineup. With 2 copies of this 5 defense Elestral, you can find any one.
Hephaestus deck is a mess. I'm going to say that right now. His deck is a mess.
Of the fire Elestrals that you need that are 1 cost from your deck. There's a lot of really cool tools in the Elestral lineup, but the rune lineup is where the Hephaestus deck shines, as he's able to utilize the tools in his tool belt, the artifacts, to be able to generate incredible advantage on field. Earthquake kicks up our lineup as a 2-cost invoke Earth removal rune that allows you to get rid of any threat, and that's just massive for a starter deck. Your 2 Hephaestus allow you to find the artifact runes that you're looking for, while Anvil of Hephaestus allows you to keep them on the field if your artifacts ever get removed. Hammer of
Not gonna lie, the entire ad that just popped up was Shady doing an entire advertisement for this set. That was kind of funny.
Hephaestus provides protection alongside a nice little buff, and Tongs of Hephaestus is really the standout as our brand new 3-cost artifact rune. Tongs of Hephaestus can only work on a fire Elestral, but it does provide 4 attack and 2 defense. But the real kicker is when it destroys an Elestral in battle, you can discard a card in order to target and destroy a card. If you're able to connect with a massive destruction with your Elestral empowered by Tongs, you can flip the entire field and mess your opponent up in such a big way. And let's not forget the potential of utilizing this alongside Reforge, which can bring it back to your hand and heal you 3 spirits. That cannot be mentioned enough. You've got 2 copies of your Volcanic Forge to provide stadium support and additional buffs to your Fire Elestrals, and Hephaestus' Jealousy Eruption allows you to activate some of your really powerful effects while also providing removal against your opponent's Elestrals. 2 Tsunamis provides you defensive protection, swapping Elestrals to defense position, and also works very nicely with Smoltuga and some of the other cards in this deck. Necklace of Harmonia provides 5 attack buff, and again, is free to cast with Fire Spirits when you pair with Volcaries. Ambrosia gives you a little bit of extra healing, and the 2 Argo is a super fun combat trick, making it a little bit difficult for your opponent to attack into you. And a single copy of Gorgon's Gaze rounds out the rune lineup, providing you everything you need in just 1 card, Gorgon's Gaze. Again, Smoltuga.
Man, having 2 eruptions just to... Oh, man. 12, 5 Pyro, 4 Leviathan, and 4 Terratlas. Oh, man. Like I said, this deck is a mess. This deck feels such a mess to me. But, oh man, just to annoy people so much, just bring this deck with you to any tournament. Just bug people with the fact that you have the access double eruption or multiple eruptions over and over, because the fact that I think pretty sure you can either find them in your hand, your deck, or find them in your underworld and bring them back with the Voltugas in them. That's hilarious. Obviously, as Dan has said before, they do these. He's already probably on set 9 or 10 in development for late, next year, and he puts those together. So when a ban list comes out, and they ban something that they put into a deck that's 2-3 sets from now, we're not going to go back and go, well, that set's probably entrenched right now. We're not going to go and say, oh, wait a minute, we have to make this change to adhere to the ban list. So what do you want after the first or second ban list? He was like, well, here's what we're gonna do to be able to do this and make it so that it doesn't mess up any of these starter decks, and people just want to, somebody new to the scene buys one of these double starter decks, doesn't have the money to go out there and, splurge on a bunch of cards to be able to go out there. They go out and get the starter decks that they have a brother or sister. They want to buy one of these double ones, and they can, split one. One gets Ares, one gets Hephaestus, and they don't have the ability to go, you know what, let me take out a bunch of cards and put stuff in here to build my own deck. They could still go, well, these 2 bought these double starter decks. They can still legally be in any tournament because that's all they have, and that's fine as long as they don't, swap cards with each other. So, yeah, I don't know. Doing the double starter decks is actually, in my opinion, doing harm to starter decks. They just feel more of a mess. They feel like it feels like they're trying to do some kind of well, it's a versus, so we have to try and get these 2 to counter each other. So, if you won against each other, there'll be an epic clash, but, well, obviously, as you know, hardly anybody. I think we've had a couple people do some of the webcam online tournaments. With the starter decks, just because they wanted to probably use a strategy they could only use with cards that are banned or limited. The fact that original eruption is banned outside of a starter deck, which there are 2 starter decks that have that: the original Trifernal deck and this deck. This is the first starter deck to have a original Lavalith. The fact that both Lavaliths are in here, but the fact that you have original Lavalith, which was that one of until recently. Now you can slap that Lavalith down with this deck here, and your opponent has to just sit there and tear their hair out, because that's what makes this deck actually pretty good. Is you have Lavalith, you have original Lavalith. Of all the decks that are out there, starter decks, you have original Lavalith in this deck. Say for me, I've had a clash where I did some major triple. I did a triple eruption on somebody. They put Lavalith down the next turn, and because everything else was just oh, I got this awesome triple eruption off, and I've got nothing left. I got no healing coming. Everything, all my healing was under the at the bottom of my deck. They just went and started wrecking havoc on me because I couldn't do anything else to get that Lava Lift on. So I think out of all the 4 decks that we've seen, this one probably is the best just because it has OG Lava Lift. And OG Lava Lift is still a menace. There's a reason it's banned outside of the starter deck. There's a reason you're not going to see it anywhere else. This deck probably could be seen as a deck. And there's double Eruption too. There's OG Eruption, which is also banned. So Eruption's back in play, and somebody's going to sit there and play it.
Carries, get those early, find the pieces you need, set up your Hephaestus, use those
just get Lava Lift. Again, just get Lava Lift on the field and you're probably going to win.
Artifacts in a big way, and then drop those Eruptions at the end of the game to seal the deal. Of course, this starter deck, as I mentioned, does contain an X out of 99 and a Reverse Stellar. The Reverse Stellar is none other than Tongs of Hephaestus, which is an epic card to chase down.
Wait a minute. What's the difference? This is the most, what's the difference? Stellar.
I love this Stellar, and I'm super stoked that we brought this to the game. But the X of 99 Stellar might just surprise you. You might be thinking, well, A-Drive, it's most certainly Boltuga, right? You have 3 copies of Boltuga, it's the face of the starter deck alongside Vesuvatuga, but it's time for a little curveball, because the Stellar X out of 99, Stellar Rare in the Hephaestus starter deck is none other than Volcaries, champion of Hephaestus. You didn't think we forgot about it, did you? We've been holding this Stellar.
Isn't Volcaries from Firestorm?
For quite a while, and I'm super excited for it to come in these starter decks. If you were looking for a reason to buy these starter decks, this Stellar Volcaries should be that reason. Firecast.
I so want to get I so wish I could get the double starter deck for Ares and Hephaestus. I really do.
Casters rise up.
Just because I want to have the starter decks, and I love my fire deck.
You guys are in for a treat with this card. But these double starter deck bundles.
Again, I would say definitely Hephaestus is the winner of all 4 starter decks. Again, the double starter deck thing does feel like they take the. It's like, let's see how well we can make these starter decks to battle each other over everything else. Not my favorite thing. I would love to have just one of these starter decks because those box arts look great. They look great, but I don't know. It's the fact that Volcaries, champion of Hephaestus, which I'm pretty sure came out in Firestorm, is getting the Stellar over everything else is surprising.
Are insane at $29.99. So what are you waiting for? Head to shopelestrals.com and secure your pre-order for Elestrals Divine Champion Sunstrike right now.
Information. Oh yeah, additional information. We have one more set of reveals. When is that date? I can find my mouse here. Final date is on the next Monday. That is it. That is going to be an interesting looking. What was it? Not Heli. That's not Heliolift. That's the other one. That's the Aeriolift. That's Aeriolift. That's Aeriolist's boy right there. But let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I'm totally sorry about missing out on this yesterday. I totally forgot. Absolutely forgot that this was out yesterday. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video, and I'll see you guys on Monday.